Hi, I'm Gwen Preston of Resource Maven, and we're here at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver in the middle of September. And I'm joined by Ginn of BonTerra Resources. BonTerra is a really interesting gold asset in Quebec that you have been drilling the stink out of now that you've raised a bunch of money. So just to put things in broad terms. So let's start with sort of how big the deposit sort of was before this leg of the program and sort of what you're seeing there now.
Sure. Well, 2 years ago we started with basically a small find, and the previous operators had drilled it maybe to a length of 200 meters.
Right.
And very close to surface. And we, Nav Dhaliwal, our CEO, had restructured the company, and then we managed to raise some money and do some actual step-out drilling. And that, so we've had 2 winters of step-out drilling, and we've found that the deposit now is over 1 kilometer long, consistently, and we've drilled it almost to 1 kilometer in depth, and we've come up with 5 distinct veins. So instead of one single sheet, we're talking about 5, and they vary a little bit in dimensions, but a couple of them are nearly to the 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer type dimension. So the footprint of this thing has gotten a lot bigger over the last 2 years.
Those are really dramatic changes. The 5, can you explain a little bit how close or far apart those 5 veins are? Because clearly in a mining scenario, that's really important.
Yeah, it's within a regional shear package. So we've got sets of parallel veins, and they're 30 meter-ish apart over a couple 100 meter wide package that contains them.
Right.
So they're far enough apart that you could plan development in between and not be interrupting the other one, sort of thing.
Right, so setup looks really darn good.
Right.
Your structure is predominantly an east-west structure. That's what you're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Other deposits in the area, certainly Osisko drilling at Windfall is the flagship in the region. They're more of a north-south situation. So that seems unusual. Can you explain what's going on there?
Well, there are 2 main trends. You could see that on the regional maps. And the more northerly trend is over on the west side of our property.
Right.
And our more easterly trend, it actually joins that on the west side of our property. So we do have both, and that's quite encouraging, actually. And so you have trends within trends and all that sort of thing, but regionally you've got more of an east-west trend, which is what our Gladiator deposit's on. And to the west, we see those northerly trends as well.
Okay, so a lot of work still to do for sure in Gladiator itself. Filling in this 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, that's a lot of drilling for a high-grade deposit.
Yeah.
Right, we haven't even mentioned grade yet.
Oh.
Just so people are aware, what are we looking at?
Well, we've been consistently hitting grades between sort of 6 and 20 grams, but it's a kind of an average of a 8 to 10 gram type deposit is what it's looking like.
Yeah, so we're in a high-grade situation. We're
Right.
in a high-grade underground situation. There's a lot of other potential in this land package, and your latest press release was about some step-out drilling that you did targeting a geochemical and sort of mapping-based structure kilometers away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, to the southwest of the deposit, we identified a trend. It had some geophysical and some till anomalies on it, and so we followed up with some shorter, regional drilling, and we did hit a new zone. It's not huge numbers yet, but 5 grams over nearly 3 meters gold and 45 grams silver, which is new to our neck of the woods. And then we did have another drill hole a kilometer on trend from that had 13 grams over a meter with the same signature. So I think we're on to a new trend, and it's more of a southerly parallel trend, possibly, than we're not sure if it's exactly on trend with our Gladiator deposit.
Right. To hit those results in holes a kilometer apart on a brand new target, That stands out for sure. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it should. It's new.
Yeah.
It's brand new, and obviously we're onto something. And every other discovery I've ever sort of been a part of or watched, you're clipping the edges of it first before you really get it.
Yeah, it's true. Let's talk a little bit about money. A lot of money came into BonTerra in sort of earlier this year. Can you talk a little bit about just how that snowballed and who became involved? Because it was a pretty cool story, really.
Well, yeah. First, Eric Sprott was interested, and so we obviously want to have that happen. Who wouldn't? And then as the story unfolded, other producers got interested, and then so after the raise, we had Kinross come into the deal. Cisco had already been into it, and we also have now Kirkland Lake Gold in it. So some very strong, producer type shareholders. Obviously, they see the potential for this, to have the size and the economics potentially, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the size looks like it's developing. The grade is strong. The location is great. This is a road accessible, easy to operate, and you're in Quebec, which is one of the top mining jurisdictions in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the infrastructure is great. Like you say, year-round roads.
Yeah.
It's friendly-ish. As friendly as it gets in our business. It's that kind of environment.
Now it's just, I guess, a question of time. I mean, the market wants you to produce results every day. Takes longer than that, especially when some of your holes are quite deep. So if anything, the share price has been a little bit sideways of late, but I think my sense is that that's the market just wanting more now. But I imagine those results are about to sort of start flowing in a significant way.
Yeah, I think people get used to it, and then you kind of, if you're not producing super high grade results every single press release, they want to chase maybe shinier things elsewhere. But ours is a steady, with the amount of drilling we're doing, you're going to see steady results. You're going to see steady growth on a real deposit, something real, and we're finding new things too, and in a pure, untouched, part of that belt. So, sure, things come and go, but you don't want to be in the spotlight all the time. I think this is just fine where we are.
Yeah, for sure. Well, best of luck with the rest of I was going to say season, but you're probably just going to keep going.
No seasons.
There's no seasons for you. You just keep drilling.
Just hockey season. That's it.
All right. Well, best of luck. Thanks for joining me.
Okay. Thank you.